Last video I already discussed about the temporary table and table variable in the detail. Okay, so what is the difference between the temporary table and table variable? Also I discussed the different type of the temporary table like global temp table and the local temp table. So if you not get a chance, please go and watch the video number 15 before starting the video number 16. So in this video I will discuss completely detail in the what is the data query language, and in the data query language we learn about the order by clause, is null function, not null function, and distinct clause, the wildcard operator, in between, and the where clauses. Each and everything we will discuss in this video, that is the data query language. So let's start with this first data query language. So data query language is very important if you are working in any of the profile, because you need to query the data from the database. So the first, when we start the working in any profile like the database administrator, database developer, or the data scientist, data analyst, so any profile, you when you interact with the database, so always you need to know how many table is there in my database, how many objects are created in my database. So suppose if you anyone asks you, or the in the interview, if anyone asks you, can you send me the total number of the table available into the database. So when you jump to the database and if you click on the plus symbol, okay, so now you can see this many database table we have. But if you very difficult to go and press the F2 and copy the table name and paste into the Excel file. So this is if you have the more than 300 or 1000 table, then this is very lengthy process, because we work in the database development. So we always need to go with the query. So we have the how we can find the total number of the table. So we have the select star from sys tables, okay, which is the give the information of the all the table which is created under this database. Okay, so basically this is the giving how many table created in the database, and when this any of the table is created, so you can see this is the name, like my constraint table is there, and this is created on the 21st of November. And if the table, if the any table is modified, like the modified in the means, if you alter the table, like you added the column name, or you modify the data type in the column, or you drop some of the column, so the date and time when the table is modified, it will populate under the modified data. So when we working in the real time, you sometimes you got the chance to retrieve the table information which is created in 2021 or 2020, or retrieve the table information which is created or modified in month of March. So you can put the where condition and you can filter the based on the created date. Now coming to the after the table, suppose if you have the requirement to retrieve the all the table information, other than table information, you need to retrieve the all the object information. So we have the select star from sysobject, which is the use for the use for the retrieve the all the object information, like the store procedure, view, trigger, function, any constraint is there. So if you retrieve the any object information, all the object information is available under the sysobject table. Okay, so this video it might be long, because I need to cover each and everything related to data query language. So don't miss the any line of this video, so you can watch into starting from the ending, so you not miss any type of the function which is discussed in this video. Okay, so the next question comes in mind, that how we can figure out that which is the table, and which is the object is the store procedure, which is the trigger, which is the function. So based on the type and description, we have the separated, like type system table is S, and if you go down here, so now you can see foreign key, we have the F. So just you can put the distinct here. So distinct keyword is basically used to retrieve the only distinct value. So if you put the type and type description from the sysobject table, okay, you will get all this all this object information here, like for the fn is the scalar function, or the if is the inline table value function, c is for the check constraint, uk is the unique constraint. So suppose if anyone asks you, can you figure out how many check constraint is created in the database, how many system table is there in the database, how many store procedure is there in the database. So you need to filter based on the type. Okay, so for example, I want to retrieve how many store procedure is created into this database. Okay, so when you execute this one, you will get all the information which is the store procedure is created. So I have total 9 which is the store procedure into the created into the database. Another mode useful is there. So whenever you create any of the object or any of the table, so first you need to check that if the table is already exist or not. If the table is already exist, first you need to drop the table and then you need to recreate the table. Okay, so in this situation you need to check if exist, select one from sysobject where name is equal to department and type is equal to you. So we first need to drop the table. So you can check, see if the table is already in the database, then it will show the 1. If you can drop, then suppose let me drop this table first, and then you can see here the command. So if this one is not available, like nothing will be come in the output because there is no table name is there, so they will not drop. Okay, so when the table is already there, first we need to drop the table and then you need to create the table. So if you execute this command, okay, if any number of the time, so it will not throw an error because again is if the already table is there, so they first dropping the table and they recreating the table. So this I will discuss in more in future also when we discuss the store procedure and the function trigger. Each and every object first we can check and then we can create it. So this is the all about to work with the object label. Let's learn some type of the more function for the data query language. Now the first one is the where clause. So where clause is basically used to filter the data. Like if someone asks you the question, can you find out how many gender employees married? Okay, how many male employees married? So when male employee is married means you need to put the gender is equal to M and marital status is equal to M. So you will get how many male employees married. So total 96 male employees married. So end clause is basically used to when both condition is satisfied, means this condition and this condition is satisfied. But where clause is basically used if anyone employee key is equal to 10 or salary flag is equal to 1, then any condition is met, then they give the output. So basically difference or and end is basically used when both condition is satisfied, and or is basically used when any of the condition is satisfied. Now we have the next concept is the order by clause. Okay, so order by clause we have the by default is order by clause we have the by default is ascending order. So when you order the data, like for example I have the table, a dim employee table is there. So in the dim employee table data is already ordered in based on the employee key, because the employee key is created the primary key. So I will discuss about the primary key, what is the primary key and the foreign key in the next video. So if you want to order the data based on the first name, so you can pass the use the order by clause and give the column name and what order do you want, ascending order or descending order. So I want in descending order, so I use the DESC. Okay, so when you execute this one, you will get this data is ordered based on the DESC, like Z is coming in top. Okay, but if you not pass the any of the value after the column name like ascending or descending, is by default take ascending order. So if you execute this one, you can see it's coming by default into the ascending order. Okay, but you can also write ascending order but you can also write the ascending order. So when you execute this one, you can get data got order based on the ascending order. You can also pass the multiple column if you want to order the data. So like I passed order by sales territory key first name DESC. So you can see they will first order sales territory key and then order the first name. So if you execute this one, you will get the first initial order and then they will order by first name. Okay, so in place of the complete column name, you can also use the column position. Okay, so what is the column position? Like if you press the alt F1 or SP help table name, you will get the column position. Like fifth position is sales territory key, sixth position is last name first name, and seventh position is last name. So if you want to order based on the first name, just you can use the 6 in place of the complete column name. So you can also use the column position instead of the column name. Okay, so if you want to sales territory key first name last name, you can use the 5 6 7 and put the ascending order. Okay, so its data will be ordered based on the ascending on this 3 column. Okay, so hope you clear about the order by clause. Now the next one is the basically let me select the YouTube training batch. Okay, so next one is the distinct clause, which already I discussed. So distinct clause is basically used to find the unique value. Let me create one duplicate value in this table. Okay, so in this table I have this duplicate value like Anish is repeating, but if you want to retrieve the unique value, you can use the distinct keyword here. Okay, so when you simply write the distinct keyword, it automatically gives the all the distinct value. Okay, so there is no duplicate value will be populate into the output. Next one is the Isnull function, null and not null function, which is the very important for the working for the null value. So let me create some scenario. Okay, so I have dim customer table is there. So in the dim customer table, you can see the middle name we have the Isnull, and some of the empty value is there. Okay, so if someone asks you how we can find the employee information which don't have the middle name, don't have the middle name means the middle name is null or the middle name is the blank. Okay, so when we use the Isnull function where the is or null we have the space, it will work only for the null value. Okay, Isnull function is basically work for the only null value. So now you can see blank value will not come. So we have the Isnull function, there is no space, and you can pass the column name, and here you can pass the value. So add equal to empty. So basically they will give you the all the null function and the empty value, blank value. So basically Isnull function, what is exactly they doing? They exactly whatever the value you pass here, the Isnull after the column name, they replace this value to the empty value if you pass the empty. So basically when you execute this one, you can see they simply replace the all the null value with the empty value. Like for example, if someone asks you how we can update the NA where the value is null, so you can use the Isnull function and you can pass in the NA. So you can see where the null value is there, they simply replace the NA value. Okay, and this is the very important interview question, that how we can replace with the NA where the null value is there. So you can use the Isnull function and just you can pass the value here. Okay, so you will get new column name. So hope you understand the Isnull function and null function. Now is not null function, basically suppose if anyone asks you the question interview that how we can find the employee information which have the middle name, so if you use the is not null function, okay, so you will get the blank value also. Okay, because is null function is basically used only for the null value, but if you use this is null function and not equal to empty, you will get the all the employee information which have the middle name, like all this employee have the middle name. So hope you clear about the null, is null and not null function. And next one is the column aliases. Okay, column aliases, table aliases. So alias name is basically give the new name. So suppose I have this table, and if you want to give the while we populating the data, if you want to give the new column name, So exactly we're not changing the name here, but while output displaying purpose you can change the name. So we have the employee key, you can put the EMP ID, parent employee key, parent EMP ID, first name you can put the F name, last name you can put the L name. Say age is not mandatory, you can give the age, or without age you can just give the space. So when you execute this one, you will get the employee ID, parent employee ID, F name, last name, means whatever you name is giving here. Okay, so just for displaying purpose you giving the new name, that is called the column alias name. Now next one is the in and between. Okay, so in and between is basically used when you have the work with the some set of the range value, then you can use the between, and whenever you work with the set of the value, then you can use the in operator. Like I want to find out the employee information from 1 to 200. So when you execute this one, you will get all the employee information which have the 100 and 200, but in the bracket whatever the value you pass in the in, that value will be populated into the in cloud. Next and last one, that is the like operator, we also call the wildcard operator, is basically used to retrieve the pattern index. Okay, so pattern value. So suppose if you want to find out the sum of the value, same like in the Excel, if you doing the control F, so in the database, if you don't know the exactly this value is there or not, so you can use the wildcard character, basically search the value in the database, okay, in a table. So if I want to find the employee name which is starting with the R, so just you can put the R, after R you can put the percentage symbol, so you will get all the employee information which name is starting with the R. Same like with the first name is ending with the R, you can put the before percentage symbol, so you will get all the employee information which is the name is ending with the R. The next one is the suppose if you have the any requirement where first name is R, second name is second letter is any letter, and the third letter is the S. Okay, so if any letter is there, you can put the underscore, so you will get the all the employee information which have the second letter is any letter but first and third letter is S. Same like we have the title, you can find out how many technician is there in the keyword, so you can put the before percentage symbol and after percentage symbol, so you will get the complete all the technician where technician keyword is there in the title column. So now you can see here we have the production technician WC10. So here you can see we have the quality assurance technician. So this is the all about, you can find out. Now the last we have the, suppose if you want to see how many table is there in my database which name is including sales, so you can put the select star from sysobject where type is equal to u and name like the sales, percentage symbol you can put before and after, so you will get all the employee information which have the name table. So I have total table 6. Okay, so this is the all about this this is the all about the data query language. I discuss all this in the detail, and in the coming video I will discuss about the constraint and the indexes, aggregated function. So each and everything you can find in the SQL in one place, so no worry about the, if you really want to learn the SQL, so please watching each and every video in starting from the and go to the ending, so you not lost any type of the topic, because each and every topic is very important if you really want to grow a career in this SQL. So thank you for the watching this video. I will meet again in next video. Thank you so much.